Hi there, my name is Chris Downing, Application Engineer for Man & Machine UK. In this video I'm going to give you a quick overview and demonstration of the benefits of AutoCAD Electrical. On the left hand side here we've got Project Manager. The Project Manager manages an entire project, keeping and storing all the drawings and the data within those drawings and managing that data for you. Okay, so you can see down the bottom here the location of those drawings, file name and description, etc. Okay, so first of all, my first sheet, or my second sheet, my first sheet is my drawing list. So my second sheet here, I've got the incoming supply. I've pre-drawn this just to speed up the demonstration. So I'm going to start off on my schematic tab. I'm going to start off drawing a multiple bus. And we've got a 4-pole bus, and we're going to go for from another bus and click OK on there. And as I draw this new bus, you can see that the 4 lines are spaced at 10 mm apart and they connect to the top phase. If I move downwards, you can see that they stagger and connect to each phase as you would expect them to do in a normal supply for a motor or a 4-phase, 3-phase plus neutral supply. And you can see that they pick up the wire layer format, so that they, the software knows that it's connected to that wire, therefore it must be the same wire layer. Okay, so then I'm going to go to my icon menu, and I'm going to go to my motor control area and find a motor, a 3-phase motor. So the icon menu basically gives you out of the box a whole bunch of standard symbols, pretty much nearly all the standard symbols you'd expect to see in an electrical package. This is the IEC standard. You can pick and choose what standard you're working to. Most people in the UK work to the IEC 60617. Okay, so I'm going to go for a 3-phase motor, and you can see I've got a 3-phase with 4 connections here. And I can click on the middle phase. It will tag my motor with the next tag in the database. I'm not going to give it any catalog information. It's an external motor, so I don't need to do that in this case. Perfect. You can see that the 4 lines, or the 3 phases and the neutral, have all connected to the motor. As you would expect, if I right click on the motor, I can scoot the motor up and down the line, and it retracts the lines or extends them if required. Okay, because it's connected to those lines. Go back to my icon menu. Let's have a look now at the circuit breaker. Again, these are all out of the box symbols I'm using at the moment. So a 3-pole circuit breaker with a thermal overload, and build it to the right. Oops. Let's do that again because I have my snap on. Let's just turn that off for a second. Don't want it to snap to the end of the line. Let's do that again. Build it to the right. So this inserts 3 symbols for each phase. And it will break the line, as you can see, and connect it to each phase line, and it will give it the next number in the database. And I can look up a catalog entry. I've got an extensive catalog here, and you can see it's looking for 3-pole. I actually want 4-pole, don't I? So we can change that using the filtering systems, a bit like Google. But you can also save them away as your favourites as well. And I've got a favourite here, 32 amp, 4-pole circuit breaker, an Eaton manufacturer. Click OK. And it populates. I could put in motor 1, for example, in my description. And it populates catalogue, manufacturer, rating and pins. All that data is stored in your catalogue and can be edited if required. Okay, so there's my circuit breaker. This is a cross-reference table, and because I've got one pole that I've not assigned yet, my 4th pole, I've got a cross-reference table telling me I've got a spare pole. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is copy the 3rd pole, 4-pole symbols don't come out of the box. You can create them and save them away, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to list that 4th pole. So that gives me a list of all the pins, the ones I've used and ones I haven't used. Click OK, click OK, and there we go. We can see that that's now referencing that pole. The reference is updated. It's given me the grid reference 2C or 3C, and I'm going to change it and link it up like so. So that's my 4th pole. If I want to save that symbol away as a reusable symbol, what I can do is use my icon menu wizard and I can add it to my icon menu. Okay, so I use my icon menu wizard, edit my custom icon menu, which can be shared across the network where required. I can go on to here and you can see I've already got a disconnect 4 poles. What I'm going to now do is add a new submenu. Call it circuit breaker 4 poles. I'm going to browse for an image. I'm just going to use the same image there. Obviously I could spend a bit of time and find an actual circuit breaker to reference and look accurate. For the purpose of the demo, this is fine. I'm going to drag and drop it where I want it to sit. And then in here I'm going to add the new circuit, 4-pole circuit breaker, and because I've already set it as a 32 amp, I'm going to put in brackets 32 amp because it's saving the actual size. Again, I would probably pick a better icon there, but that's fine for this purpose. Okay, and save it away and set the base point of the circuit and then press enter and OK. So let's just do another bus quickly. So another 4-pole bus, like so, bring it down. I could copy this component, save me having to go back to the icon menu, drop it on there, click OK, connect it all up. I can use the align tool to align it so it's equally aligned. Then I can go to my icon menu wizard, go to my breakers, go to my 4-pole breakers. There's my new icon, and there's my 4-pole breaker. And there we have it. And because I used it, because I saved it with the catalog information in there, I've got the catalog information there already. I don't have to rethink that every time. So you could create a symbol for all the common circuit breakers that you use, so that the catalog information is already applied and it saves you time just aligning it there. Okay, so let's go now just do a quick motor starter contacts here for the motor starter, and we've got a motor starter here, and I'm going to pop that down here, build it to the right. Click OK. I'm not going to try and tag this up because these are child components. The parent component, where we'll put the catalog information and give it a tag, will be the coil itself. Just putting a 4th pole on here and then linking it up, hiding that extra attribute, it's not required. Yep. And then I can copy the circuit. I'm using copy circuit, not symbol, because there are multiple symbols. And you can see that I've copied it across and it's broken the lines for me. It's done it exactly how I'd expect it to work. So I don't have to think about trimming wires, breaking wires into 2, stretching them back to connect them to the symbol. It's done all for me. If I were to move one of these symbols, so if I was to move it over to a horizontal line, for example, you see that the symbol automatically rotates. It removes the link between the 3rd and the 4th pole, but the link is still there in the database. So we tag one, the rest, all the poles will tag with the same tag number. And you see, yeah, it's rotated and broken the wire and repaired this wire. So it's very intuitive. I can move it back again. Again, repairs the wire up here, breaks the wire down here, and we'll link it back up again within a physical link line, like so, and hide the attribute, like so. These wires are now going to be external wires. Actually, I'm going to scoot this a little bit higher. So you can see that moving, I can scoot this one, or I could align, whichever I found easiest at the time. You can see that editing your symbols is now a lot easier. I can use the scoot tool. The lines will stretch and retract with the symbol. I'm now going to use copy circuit actually at this point. So I'm going to use copy circuit and copy these two circuits and try and get this facing even, like so. So I've got a copy of the two circuits. When I press enter to accept, you'll see the tags have changed, like so. Yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for the motors, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the circuit breakers. These are yet to be tagged as their child components. Again, we can see that we've got 3 times motor 1. That's a description, so that doesn't automatically change because you may want this description to be the same. So it doesn't change that for you automatically, but it's easy enough. You can use the properties to go through and quickly change an attribute, just like you would in AutoCAD as well. So you can use AutoCAD to edit, AutoCAD functionality to edit your drawing in certain cases. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use a multiple insert command to insert multiple terminals all at once. So if I select the multiple insert icon, and then I will go for terminals, and we're going to go for round with a number and a number change. This I'll put my ortho on to make sure it's straight because I can't trust my hand. There we go. So keep this one, which means keep this symbol here. Okay, yeah, I don't want to skip the next, I want to keep it. Click OK. I'm just going to do a catalogue check on that one. It's a ZDU10. I don't want a ZDU10, I want a ZDU4. So I'll do a catalogue lookup. I'll go to my favourites again, and there's my ZDU4. Click OK. And it's going to be X2 because I want this to be a different tag strip to the incoming supply, or terminal strip to the incoming supply. And now I want to keep them all because they're all going to be the same. And I don't want to see the dialog box every time. I just want it to insert all the symbols at once. And click OK, and it goes through inserting all the terminals as you would expect. And each terminal now is has got the catalog information for that ZDU, which you can see in the properties there, catalog manufacturer. ZDU4, that one. Okay, so there's all my terminals inserted at once, broken all the lines. We should see that they have terminal numbers which we'll set up later. And yeah, what I'm going to do now is just change the wire layers to external, because these are external to the panel and we don't want them numbered. So I'm going to change the wire layer to external, and you can see that I've got set here certain layers are numbered and certain ones aren't. Pretty much all of them are numbered apart from the external one. Yeah, so if I click OK and then highlight all these wires, you see that they all change to a dashed line with a grey colour to show that they're external wires, and they will not have a number on them when I use the auto number functionality. So that's this page pretty much done apart from the wire numbering. Let's just do a quick wire number. So if I click wire numbers even, and I select drawing wide, that will then go through putting numbers on my wires. You can see some of them are not quite positioned where I want them, so I'm going to use the move wire number command and put them where I want them, like so. And let's say I moved this wire number over here. If I wanted to align the others, I could use the align command and do a vertical alignment and align them up like so. So it's quite easy to manipulate your wire numbers. You can see that I've got a specific numbering scheme for each wire layer. So every L1 will have L1 and then a counting number afterwards. So incrementing at one number each time. So you've got L101, L102, and the same for the rest. You've got L201, L202, and 3, 2, and you've got N002, etc. So The number schemes are predefined in the properties of the project. Let's now go and copy this circuit. I could save this circuit away to my icon menu in the similar way that I did to the symbol, but right now I'm just going to use copy clip and select that point. Oops, let's get in there and select that point there and copy that entire circuit and jump to my next sheet using the arrows to scoot through the sheets. And you can see I've got a blank page barring the top bus bar there, and I'm going to paste my clip. And what it will do is it pastes the circuit exactly the same way, but it should reset the wire numbers. And that's unfortunate, isn't it? I've missed that one there. So let's just extend that. Let's trim that one away, trim that one, and then extend it back up. It's extending and it's meeting the nearest wire when you use extend, so I just move it above there and extend it to that wire there. And then I'm going to delete that. It's alright, so when I did the copy I missed off that first pole, which is a little bit awkward. You can see that I've got 5, 6 and 7. Well, I want those to be 5, 6 and 7 across there. So what I'm going to do is move circuits. And this is quite cool functionality, because once I finish the move, what we should see is that it breaks the wires here and repairs the wires here. And then I could either copy, or I could use my icon menu wizard again and place down that 4-pole circuit breaker. So it's very easy to rectify mistakes with using the functionality within AutoCAD Electrical. There we go. Yeah, so what I might like to do is change these from 32 amps to 20 amps. So I'm going to go in there, edit my component, do a lookup, have a look at my favorites. Right, maybe not look at my favorites, maybe I'll just do a search via this, 20 amps instead. I'll pick the top one here, just have a little look through. Looks okay to me. I can add that to my favourites if I want for future use. Click OK and click OK. That then becomes a 20 amp breaker, and I'm updating all the child poles afterwards. If I wanted to copy that catalogue assignment, I could do that. If I can remember where it was, there it is, copy catalogue assignment, so I can copy that one. Yeah, that's good. I can copy and paste it to all of these. And it's saying a catalogue check there. I can overwrite, and yes, update. They're all now 20 amp circuit breakers. Okay, so I've just created my second lot of motor control, or motor supply, I should say. What I've got here, if I just do a wire numbers, drawing wide, just to freshen the wire numbers there, you can see that the wire numbers are being pulled across with the cross reference from the first sheet or the second sheet, and the grid reference there, and it's coming into numbering the wires on here. So to do that, we place a source arrow on the end of each line using a signal code, giving it a description if you want. Don't want to put the destinations in now. We'll put 3 source arrows in there, like so. The descriptions help you link them up when you come to that bit. So it's always a good idea to put a description in where you can. So there's my source arrows. I'm now going to go across to my third page, and you can see I've got the 4 poles there, but they're all red on a red layer, or a generic wires layer, and they're not linked up with anything. So I'm going to use my destination arrow now. So the destination connects to a source. I'm going to show unpaired source arrows only, and you can see there now the description is helping me along with the wire number. and also you've got sheet and grid reference there as well. So it's referencing it up, and also changing the wire layer, and also numbering the wire as well. There we go. Because the lengths of the wires are all different, it's putting the number in the middle of the line. So we're getting a staggered effect there. So what I'm going to do now is use my vertical alignment again. I'll probably select that one to align the others two and just realign it. Okay, so there I've got my transformer there, my power supply, and it's converting it down to 24 volts DC. You can see here what I'm going to do now is copy and paste this circuit 8 times, one for each motor supplier. So we're starting to get into some control now. We've got a start button, a stop button, and a latching relay. So I'm going to go for copy circuit again. Pop that down there, press enter, and you see all the tags update as you'd expect. Copy the circuit again. And this time I'm copying 2, saving a bit of time, hopefully. So I've got 4 now. Again, all the tags have updated as you would expect. Copy circuit again. And now I've got 8, and all the circuits have updated again as you'd expect. Okay, even the cross references between the symbol, so I've updated as well. Obviously I then go through changing the descriptions there. You've got motor 1, obviously I could click on 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see it says motor 1. I can just change them all in one click to motor 2, 2, 3, 4, motor 3, etc, etc. I'm not going to worry about them all. Let's do one more. 3, 4. That's motor 4. Okay, so you go through quickly and easily, just updating those descriptions. Again, they don't update automatically because you may not want them to update automatically. So the software will update things automatically where it's guaranteed to be the right thing to do. Okay, so now we're going for a 24 volt DC. Source arrow and then a 0 volt. Source arrow there. And we're going to now go across to our first PLC page. We're going to start doing some PLCs, so let's put some destination arrows on here. Yep, there's my 24 volts. Updating the wire, updating the number. That's a good point. Actually, I haven't put a number on the previous page. Let's just quickly do that to show you I've got a different scheme for the 24 volts as well, and the 0 volts. So let's go back and just number this drawing. You can do numbers drawing wide or project wide. I tend to prefer to do drawing wide because I can keep track of things a bit better in my mind. So let's just move this across there. Looks a bit better, doesn't it? I could move the 0 volts down there. I could move these here if I prefer, because it's got a little bit more space. It's entirely up to you. And the appearance and the alignment of the wire numbers are all set in the project, so you can change the appearance. I've had clients that have got ovals circling the number and it's in line with the line. We've had clients where they just want it all to be horizontal rather than aligned with the line. So you choose how you want them to appear. Change the font, change the text height and size, things like that. Okay, so quickly and easy, I'm modelling up or drafting up my my 2D schematic, and all the tags and all the numbers are all accurate. I'm not having to think about it. I'm not having to keep a database or a spreadsheet or a notepad in front of me to keep track of the numbers. It's all been done for me. Okay, so I'm going to go to do a PLC now. And I'm just going to use this PLC here because I know it's a good one to use for the demonstration. And we're going to pop it down somewhere like here. Use a spacing of 20 millimeters between inputs. And click OK. And click OK. And it's going to be module 1. And it's going to be, each address is going to be I01 onwards. And there's my first breakpoint. So I'm going to break it so that I can go to the next sheet and place my next PLC, or next part of the same PLC I should say. Again, a spacing of 20, click OK. Insert all. This is the outputs. Okay. So the way that this PLC symbol has been designed, it's got a breakpoint in between the inputs and the outputs. But you could just move this a second. Somewhere like that. You can change the PLCs to have different breakpoints in different places. You can input it and allow custom breakpoints, so you can put in point by point and then break it when you want to break it. So it's very intuitive in that manner. Okay, so I'm just going to be very quick and rough about this just for the purposes of this demo, and I'm going to do a insert from component, multiple bus, and I can draw a line around all the connection points and connect it up, and I'm going to do another line down like so, and there we go. That's complete. I'm going to now do my relays coming from the previous control page for the first 8 inputs there. So we're going to go for an icon menu. Actually, I'm going to use my multiple insert here because I can use that in this case, and I'm going to go to relays. So you can use that for any symbol, it doesn't have to be terminals. Form C relay, and we're going to draw it across here like so. Keep all, don't ask, and don't show me the dialog box. And there's all my relays. And then go through and pair them up with the parent coil. And you can see the descriptions help then. If I'd done them all, it would have been great, but would have wasted a lot of time on this demonstration. And let's go for number 2 here. Edit component, project. I'm going to go through just do this just to show you. So I could then either hide them, hide multiple, and select them all. Could draw a box around them, and then I can hide all of those. And then if I wanted to, I could just move the cross reference a little bit using the move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, I might do those as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So there we go, there's my inputs. If I go back now to look at my relays, what we'll see is that my reference box now tells me that there's pins 5, 6 and 7 on sheet 5, grid reference 2B. And pins 3, 4 and 2, or 2, 3 and 4 are here. So it just gives me the grid reference because it's on the same sheet. So it's all referenced up for me by the software. So let's whack another source arrow on here, like so. Should have given it a description really, shouldn't I? There we go. Okay, let's quickly do it. description 24 BBC. There we go. And then destinations. Okay, there we go, bringing it across. No numbers yet on the previous page, so let's just do that. There's my numbers. I'll retag this in a minute. Multiple buses. Again, I'm not thinking about how the PLC is connected. Obviously, it's not connected according to a normal PLC connection, but we're just showing you the functionality here. So I'm going to go for my motor starters now. I need 8 motor starter coils, and we'll pop that in there and look up. Click OK. You can see there it's put the coil pins in. I could put in here again. I could look at the project descriptions I've already used. Refreshing that. Maybe not. Oh, because I haven't used any for motor starters yet, have I? So I'm going to put motor 1 in there and click OK. In this particular project, it's set up to do breakers as QA and motor starters as QA. So we're now looking at QA 9. And what I'm going to do now is do a multiple insert and pick a master. So I'm going to pick this one as my master. So it's all going to have the same catalog information. Press enter through there. Keep all, don't ask, don't show the dialog box. Boom, 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 boom. There's my motor starters. And again, I'd go through just editing the descriptions there, making sure they are as I want them. And then I'm going to go and to my first page, and we can sync a couple of these up. We'll just do a couple. It'll take a little while to do them all, but oops. If I now go through and go project, we've got QA9, and it's going to then put the pins and the cross-reference sheet 6, grid reference 2F in there. QA10. In there. And then Q12. So next thing I'm going to show you is the surfer tool. So the surfer tool is a really good tool for navigating around your schematic or your panel drawing as well. You can see here we've got each pole of the motor control starter or motor starter, and you've got the parent symbol there as well. If I click go to, it will close this drawing, saving it away, and take me straight to my motor starter. And you can see there that all the cross references in the tables there have been updated. Okay, if I was to go into this now, right click, edit, and change it like so, it will update the contacts as well. Okay, again, if I use the surfer tool, just check this last one. Yeah, so I can use the surfer tool to go to the first pole maybe. Go to, takes me straight there. You can see we now have motor 4 in the description. So again, it's all linked up. The database is managing all the tags, etc. So let's just jump back. So of course I'd go through doing the other 4 motors as well. If I wanted to move these over slightly, I'd just use the normal AutoCAD move command and move them like so into a better position. And that's the PLC done as well. So that's pretty much it for the schematic side of things. On this next sheet, I've deleted the border. What I will show you quickly is that I've set up my template so that it is compatible in paper space as well as model space, and I'll end up printing the project in paper space, but I keep the border on a schematic on the model space as well, just for my own information really. So if I jump now to my next drawing, which is my panel layout drawing, I've just deleted the border off the model space. It still exists there on the paper space, and the viewport is set up to a scale of 1:8 at the moment. I can change that and I'll show you that in a bit, but let's go to the panel tab and let's go to my icon menu and let's just bring in an enclosure, catalog lookup. Do I have any favorites? I can't remember. Let's click on here and click on favorites. Yes, I do. A Riddle favorite. Click OK, insert that at 0, 0, and this is a fairly large floor mounted cabinet. So we'll do a zoom in sense, there's the cabinet. So you get a bunch of cabinets out of the box with AutoCAD Electrical, and you can always add to this very easily as well. And there it is, 1:8. If I wanted to, I can adjust the scale, unlock the viewport and adjust the scale, maybe 1:10. When I hit the save button, because this is a field, it will update to tell me it's 1:10. And maybe I prefer 1:5. That's no good. Go for 1:8 again. There we go. So again, if I hit save, all the fields update like so. Perfect. So I've got my enclosure. Now I want to start inserting my footprints. So I can either, and let's quickly do a bit of wire ducts and dim rail. I'll do the dim rail after. I'll do the wire ducts first. So we'll do some normal ducting here, and I need to specify a length like so. So there's some ducting, not quite the right position. Just going to move it using a normal move command. In this case, I might copy it down the bottom here. So I've got 2 bits of ducting, and then I might just do another 2 bits down the side for now. Same information. Put my snap on. There. So there. Okay. Okay. And just align that up. And then I can copy it. So I'll just align that one up. Perfect. That's how we can place things anyway with the icon menu. Similar to the schematics, you've got an icon menu for footprints. You can see their PLCs, pilot lights, fuses, breakers, remote control, all that sort of thing in there. But also we can insert stuff using the schematic list. So we've obviously already got a schematic list, or a list of schematic components in our schematic. So I can have a look at that data and insert components from that list. So the first thing I'd probably want to put in is my circuit breaker. If I can find that, there it is, or my isolated disconnect switch. So I can insert that. There it is. I'll just stick it in at the top here, like so, and click OK. Then I might want to do my motor. Let's do my circuit breakers next, shall we? Let's do those. And I'll insert, I think we're going to go for 6 of those. I'll just do 6 because I don't think all 8 will fit on one line. So I'll insert 6 of those, and I'll have a uniform spacing of 105mm between each component along the x-axis, and then I'm going to do suppress the dialog box because I don't want to see that every time. I'm going to stick it as close to the trunking as possible. Yeah, 6 was right. I'm not going to do the other 2. We're just showing showing the functionality at the moment. So now I'm going to put in my relays, insert those, suppress dialog box, spacing of 35 probably, something like that. A bit much, but yeah, you could get that exactly right if you knew the width of your circuit breakers. Sorry, your relays. We've got 9. Oh no, we've got all of those motor starters there, so let's put those in. Okay, I'm going to guess at 75 here, and it is a guess. There they are. Click OK. I didn't suppress the dialog box, so just put them all in like so. You can see they're all tagged. Yeah.